1 second. She said Carter accident. Hey, hey, Trey said the BBL payment's overdue. Hey. Hey, I told you not to get them things. They're gonna be leaking on you. You went to Dr. Miami, not Miami, man. I told you.
Tracy, we'll send over the cash app later on, all right? I know.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. So we moving on.
For all the little babies. We got you, Tracy.
That's a good one. Segment number 2, can a child be prepared before grooming occurs?
Tracy.
So can a child be prepared before grooming? So here we go. This is going to answer a lot of what Tom had. So here we go.
Yeah.
Pictures of me. She said, yo, she's got this kind of sex appeal working. It comes through on the picture. I thought I was hot. You know, I had on a hot little dress.
How old were you?
I was living. I was 10. And I got
for hot at 10? I think you're supposed to be hot at 10. Are you?
We have to talk about Aaliyah. And yes, it's Aaliyah like Ali, not Aaliyah.
I say Aaliyah. Yeah. Like Muhammad Aaliyah. I got it.
A, because I think she deserves the same legacy and reverence postmortem as Selena, but B, her story is so important and it's become this sort of like urban legend when in reality it was all very public and clear. There were actually no secrets. That's what makes this story even more horrifying. I'm talking even before she was given to R. Kelly. And yes, I'm using the word given there. Aaliyah was born on January 16th, 1979 to Diane and Michael, otherwise known as Miguel Houghton in Brooklyn, New York. But the family, along with her older brother Rashad, would move to Detroit by the time Aaliyah was 5 years old. And this move was made so that the family could be closer to Diane's brother. His name is Barry Hankerson, and he had moved to Detroit back in the 70s after a failed football career forced him to pick a different industry, and he chose entertainment. So he becomes a producer and a manager, and that's how he winds up married to Gladys Knight. Only for a few years. They are both very important to the story. Now, in the countless documentaries and interviews I've watched on Aaliyah's life, I get the vibe that the family decided that she was going to be a star. Now, that's not to say she didn't enjoy singing and dancing from a young age. A lot of kids do, but it was her mom, Diane, that enrolled her in voice lessons and then started pitching her to people for their weddings, for charity events, taking her on auditions for community theater. I think it's important to note here that Diane herself was a vocalist. She had her own dreams of being an entertainer, so I think she saw her daughter as the chance that she never got. There's also a lot of sibling tension between Diane and Barry, but that will come back around later, trust me. But at this point, Barry is on board with this whole child star plan. He gets his now ex-wife, Gladys Knight, to use her connections, and she starts flying Aaliyah out to New York City to go on auditions. She'd even auditioned for the role of Judy Winslow in Family Matters, and while she didn't get that part, she would then audition for Star Search not that long after, and this is where things start to really change. Aaliyah is only 10 years old, and she absolutely crushes it with her rendition of Funny Valentine.
Don't change a hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay.
She's incredible and winds up taking home second place. This is where we get that anecdote that I played for you in the beginning where her mother says that she had sex appeal. I want to throw up even repeating that because she's a baby, but that gives you a little insight into what's being planted in Aaliyah's mind at this age, what she's expected to show up as. So after this, she auditions for several labels. She performs in concert alongside Gladys Knight, but no record label is signing her, which, I mean, makes sense. She's 10, like, hello? Well, Barry's getting impatient, so in response, he starts his own record label. This is called Blackground Entertainment in 1993. Aaliyah is 14 years old at this point. When I tell you this label is quite literally created for her, and I know a lot of people say that this was a subsidiary of Jive Records. That's not really true. The distribution deal with Jive Records didn't happen until Aaliyah's first album was ready to go. The connection that Hankerson had to Jive in the first place was through R. Kelly, who was an artist that Barry independently managed at the time. Are you still with me? In short, the label is still independent at this time, and it's shortly after creating it that Barry gets R. Kelly into the room with Aaliyah to produce her first album. This is 1993. R. Kelly was 26 years old and a rising star at the time. He wasn't huge yet, but he was definitely like the top male R&B new vocalist. And by this time, he's already gaining a local reputation for hanging around the high school and recruiting girls as young as 12 years old to be his backup vocalists. This isn't a secret, okay? This man was never not a pedophile.
People will say, well, why didn't anyone notice? The answer is that we all noticed. No one cared because we were Black girls.
What happens after this meeting? I mean a lot. An explosive album with an insane title, a pregnancy and subsequent abortion, an illegal marriage, and the temporary
So there you have it. That was video number 1. I made sure I left that out purposely so that we can have the discussion about this now. Can a child be prepared before grooming occurs? And I think this is a very vital topic right here, like a very vital segment, because we always look at the outcome and we never go back to the roots. And we talked about that last night at the closing of the show, is that a lot of these things are already being prepared for a person. You know what I mean? That's why, when you're like, that's why you see it a lot too. It's not just in entertainment. You see it in sports today. You'll see a kid now on YouTube doing drills at 10 years old, and the dad is such a great father, but is he really a great father? Does that really need to be put out to the world right now? Or is that something you wait till he gets older and then you can show the world when he becomes a big name and talent? Or are you grooming him so that he can become a prophet? Like, are our children becoming profit? Are they becoming charity? Are they becoming a money sign? And I really want to hear your opinion about this, especially being a mother as well.
So I think that some parents tend to, I'm going to say, groom their children into being who they always wanted to be and they never got a chance. Either they missed the opportunities to be that football player, baseball player, singer, star, actor, actress, soccer player, whatever it may be. There are some parents out there who do that, who push their children to be who they always wanted to be themselves, or what they always wanted to do themselves, but either their parents didn't push them, or they failed at it, or they just never got the opportunity. So the parent is making the opportunity available for their child to be successful, or more successful than they are. And I think it could have benefits in a way, but when you're pushing that child to do something they really don't want to do, it's different. And whenever you have to do things that, as far as grooming, or as far as being paid off to put your child in situations that they really shouldn't be in, then it becomes something different. Or you're trying to make profit off of your child, Yeah. So I think that it's just to answer your question, can a child be prepared before grooming occurs? I think the preparedness is being groomed by your parents to be groomed by somebody else. You're preparing your child. That's what they're doing. What was the definition of grooming again?
Oh, that's funny because I actually pulled them up. So let me see here. Let me go back to it. Before I give y'all the definition, I did look up also, because we use different phrases in today's time, right? A lot of people might call it now living through your child. You might hear that phrase, like, oh, you living through your child. And it actually breaks down the two distinctions of the two. So living through your child, that's parents pushing a child towards achievements, careers, sports, or activities to fulfill parents' unrealized dreams. The primary issue is that the child's autonomy is diminished. So living through your child takes away their autonomy. Grooming, it says the adult gradually builds trust, dependence, and compliance to make the child more likely to accept manipulation or exploitation. Grooming can be sexual, financial, criminal, or ideological. Jesus Christ, or emotional.
Is you tonight?
Yes, ideological or emotional. So it talks about that, and it says the best way to form this would be not every controlling parent is grooming their child, but every form of grooming reduces a child's ability to think, choose, set boundaries independently. The key question isn't whether the parent has influence. Every parent does. The key question is whether the influence is helping the child become more independent or more dependent upon the parent's needs. So like So like when you think about the definition of grooming, this definition is letting us know that every action pretty much has a opposite or equal reaction. And grooming, the definition of grooming is a deliberate process of building trust, influence, and dependency to make another person easier to manipulate, exploit, or abuse.
So yeah, I. So either so yeah, essentially they are preparing, but in the same sense, are they manipulating them into the process of being groomed later? So are you grooming to be groomed?
I don't think, again, I think it kind of goes back to our discussion last night. I don't think parents intentionally
Do
groom
it.
their children.
Okay.
But
So the
we
intention has to
we
be there.
talked about, it's funny because we talked about this backstage last night after the show.
Yeah.
Because Plug was talking about how he would raise a child and what he would show them. And I was like, and that's why I was saying that when you start doing it that way, you're taking away their autonomy. You see what I mean? Like we in today's society, we now try to put all these safe havens in place for our children because we think we're protecting them, but we're actually diminishing who they are. Because without failure, they're never going to learn.
Right.
Like we try to guard our children now and oh baby, you ain't got to live the way I live. You know, I'm gonna make sure you got, but them not getting into the world, now you're just delaying their failure. They might not touch it at 18, but now they're just imagine your 18-year-old staying in your house till they 30 and then experiencing true failure at 30.
That's too far in the game.
You see what I mean?
That's too far. I'd like to be
you're diminishing
your lesson earlier.
You're diminishing their return on their investment. Like they're 30.
That's tough.
You should already have a career and everything. You know what I mean? So
30.
Yeah, it's just, again, is it like the system that kind of gets us in this situation? Like, are we, for yourself, are you a single mom? So you're already in defense mode for your child.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the system almost puts you into a state of, I have to groom them this way. Not using the word like just grooming, but like I have to shift things. Yeah, I got to prepare. Yeah. So it's deep, right? Like when you start thinking about it, like, that's why I think it's okay to have failures. Like we were talking about it backstage last night, and I was telling Plug and them, like, my dad didn't tell us what to do. Like, we just we watched his actions and we followed his actions. You know what I mean? Like we didn't. And then when we learn certain things, you learn from your failures.
So since you watched and wasn't told, essentially you learn from viewing, or you learn from watching and wasn't told. So that was a different way of learning. But do you think that if you're told and you don't see it, that it's a form of, is it being prepared, or is it a form of grooming?
No, I think they're trying to prepare you, but what's that saying? There's so many sayings in the world, right? Do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
So so that's a form of manipulation.
Yeah.
I got to do things correctly because I watched my father do them correctly.
Okay.
You see what I mean? He never told me do as I say. He showed me by his actions.
By his actions, yeah.
You see what I mean? So like you think about it. It's other ways for you to prepare your child. Let's say you were a great football player and you want your son to follow in those footsteps. What you do, you continue to do workouts. You always have him around. You take him to games. You let him start to decide if this is for him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like you don't have to push him into it. You just see if he gravitates towards, okay, me and dad are going to all the high school games on Friday night. Let me see if my son goes down there and talk to the players after the game. Is he excited as a young kid to get on the field at halftime and throw the ball around with the other kids? You see what I mean? Like your child will slowly show you what their interests are.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta put them
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like should you take him to NASA? Little man want to go to space.
Yeah.
that's his thing. You know what I mean? Like he was excited when y'all watched them people not get out of that capsule. Like it was crazy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. It's one of those things, man. Like it's just very unique. But I mean, I can't tell people how to raise their children, but that was just how we were raised. Like I told you guys on a past episode, I started playing football because I see how supportive my dad was of my brother playing football. So I gravitated to a sport because I wanted that. And hype, and and it was just I was just good at it. Off the whim. But again, it was just like one of those things. So
yeah.
So
all right. Time said they choose to say this woman's name wrong every time. Aaliyah.
They say it's Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Miles said parents also groom their children, debutantes, for example.
The debutantes, for example. Yeah. You talking about like the debutante balls and stuff? I'm gonna have to look into that, Miles. Maybe we can talk about that. I'm not like very abreast to it, but I'll definitely research it.
Yeah, I haven't I've heard of them, but I haven't gone deep into like dang, my mind just went blank real quick. Penny said, I ain't had that much caffeine today. I'm trying to slack up on caffeine. Penny said, lambs to slaughter offered up on the altar of the music industry.
Oh, it's coming, Penny. Stay tuned.
Louis Bryce said, get out. All right, then, Louis. Well, you came in. How about you go? Time said, so I believe Oprah knew what R. Kelly was doing all that time she was in Chicago. Time said, no, a child can't be groomed, especially if her parents are grooming her to be a star to make money. It happened to Gary Coleman, happened to a lot of kids, stars. Their parents robbed them.
That's very true, man. You see Raven Simone going through it. She finally shaking back, but
yeah. Time said that's why a lot of kids stars make bad decisions, and you get those shows where they are now.
That's very true. Very, very true.
Aaliyah was a victim by her parents, and R. Kelly. Those are facts. Miles said that word.
It got me. So I said, so it got me, Miles. It got me, dog.
Yeah. Penny said Aaliyah was only one, though. A lot of parents got paid for R. Kelly to groom and prey on their children, thinking the ends justify the means. So Time said, "Souls, I was groomed play the James Evans way. The way my 4 brothers got treated, I got treated the same, even though I was the youngest out of the family. Don't know nothing come easy in life. Thank you, Pops."
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Penny said, does competition spawn grooming culture?
Ooh, in what aspect? In what aspect, little Penny? Break it down for me. So I want to answer it like in the correct manner that you asking it first. So break that down for us. All right, I'll definitely give you a response.
Time says, souls, Aaliyah's parents was grooming her to be a singer and a star, and they let her and groomed her to R. Kelly, who groomed her. Has she said anything ugly or nasty about R. Kelly ever?
No, she hasn't.
I don't think so. Muriel said, I had the belief that my children need to find their own way in something like sports. My daughter was playing 8 different sports until she found the ones that were right for her. Yeah.
I agree with you, Mary. I agree with you. Yeah, they'll gravitate to what they want.
Miles said, I couldn't imagine being a parent.
Miles. You don't got no kids, Miles? Miles got no kids?
I don't think he does. Muriel said, and I never missed a game or a match. Good mom. Time says, souls, my pops told me you were going to fail, but that's the best part of life. You are becoming a man. If you really love something and you're failing, you make it work. Nothing comes easy. Be a go-getter.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yep. Too Tight is in the building. What's up, Too Tight? He said, what's up with it? Penny said, like and subscribe, chat. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe. Time says, souls, I don't care what I did great in school. I still had to clean my pop's 2 cars. I still had to clean the fish that he caught. I still had to clean the basement. I'm not a superstar until I get my own.
I feel you, boy. Ooh, cleaning them fish.
Mira said, I wanted my kids to be in the rodeo and do barrel racing, but they're not interested, but they love riding horses.
Hey, that's a very good sport, that barrel racing, though.
Penny said, High South Black Society, the debutantes. Yeah.
Oh.
Miles said, right. Orlando Brown is a train wreck right now.
He's a train wreck, man, but Orlando Brown making him, I think he doing that on purpose to be able to tell his truth. Orlando Brown just opened up a whole chicken spot restaurant, doing very well. I don't know about him sometime. I think he running with the play. You got to let us know what you meant. Right? Oh, I think he just did it right there. Okay, cool. Look at that. Perfect time.
He said, does competition culture of today's standards of success, i.e., NBA, NFL, music, etc., push the parents to choose grooming as a necessary way to keep up with white counterparts using a limited vision?
Well, Penny, I'm not going to go the race route, sir. But with that being said, I swear Penny be messy. Because the real reason why I'm not going to use race is because we actually create the sports world. So I think African Americans kind of dominate the sports world. I think the competition of the culture today's standards of success, like the parents push the grooming because of monetary gain. When you think about it now, Penny, your child can go be a millionaire in college. They don't even have to step. They don't even have to step in the NBA anymore to be a millionaire. Like for those who haven't watched my Shreveport News show, I talked about Peyton Houston. He's a quarterback out of our hometown city of Shreveport, Louisiana. A young black man just signed with Nike. He's in the top 50 of high school football players that signed with Nike. He's a millionaire already. His dad created trading cards his sophomore year of high school. Think about that. Like they already knew how good, or they felt they knew how good he was going to be, and they created a trading card that he was already autographing in the 10th grade because of that. So that dude been making money hand over fist. He says Souls wasn't trying to make it about color as much as I got you. I was just being funny, Penny. I'm just being funny. I got you. Tom said, I remember one time I was watching the girls double dutch and hula hoop. I thought my pops was going to hit me upside my head. He said, which one of you going to marry? Yeah, they used to get you with them little short gym shorts on, huh?